Hi, today we're going to start with the rune Kaunaz or Kenaz, depending on how you want to pronounce it, but I'm just going to say Kaunaz. So it looks like a sideways V, as you can see on the rune next to that black feather there in the picture. And the phonetic pronunciation is K as in kangaroo, and the hard C sound is in carrot. But the actual name Kaunaz actually means fire or torch. So the esoteric meanings are fire, knowledge, creativity, inspiration, and revelation. And you can just envision how these things could all go together. A meditational sentence that you could use using these esoteric meanings is possibly, creativity fueled by the fire of inspiration brings forth revelation and knowledge. So are you a creative person? Well, each of us is creative in our own ways, and if we're productive at all, we have a spark of creativity in our hearts. In fact, before we do anything at all, the spaces between our nerve cells have to spark with the energy that's needed to do physical things. Things as simple as even just blinking our eyes. So what burns in your heart? What fires are you keeping safe? And what rolls around in your heart and mind and beckons to be attended to? Well, these fires are the heartbeat of your true nature. And for you to be spiritually healthy, it's important to attend these fires and allow them to flourish, even allowing them to lead you. When we see Kaunaz, we're reminded of our passions and dreams. So this week's focus is all about respecting, understanding, nurturing, and fulfilling those dreams. It's about keeping the fires of our personal Kaunaz burning. And the brightness of fire can light our way. In a place that's dark or entrapping, even the smallest spark of fire can give us enough light to find our way out of a bad situation. If you were lost deep within a dark cave, what would you do to find your way back? You would look for even the slightest bit of light and make your way toward that source of light. It's the very same way within ourselves. When we become depressed or stagnant, we don't have to remain that way. We can actually make the decision to change our situation. And that's why it's true that chronic sadness, unless it's a truly dire situation, it's a choice. And happiness is a choice too. So we can choose to either die in a sad, sorry state, or we can choose to rise up and be the warriors that we truly are and fight back, rekindling the fire in our hearts and marching on. Have you ever had a dear friend who suddenly became depressed and then held on to that depression and sorrow for years? What could you do to help them? What can you do? You can't stand to see them so sad, and honestly, being around them, though, is depressing. The best you can do for them is to be positive, understanding, and supportive, but you can never make them truly happy. It's up to your friend to decide for herself to let go of the darkness and rekindle the fire within her heart, allowing that fire within her heart to light her own way. The fire of Kaunaz can also refer to the enlightenment and revelation esoteric aspects. So consider how you were a few years ago and how you've changed since then, and what caused those changes. If the changes are negative, then they're certainly not caused by enlightenment or revelation. Positive changes, though, are always caused by seeing the light, so to speak, and in Viking terms, it's the light of Kaunaz. Have you gained unwanted weight? Have your circumstances kind of worsened, or are you still in a relationship with someone who's toxic? Are you more depressed? I hope the answer to those questions is no. But if it's yes, then you need to ask yourself why. If you've gained unwanted weight, your circumstances have worsened, and you're still in a relationship that's toxic, and you're more depressed than ever, well, you've embraced the darkness more than the light. And once you realize that we sometimes cling to things that are negative, you can realize that you have the ability to change that too. So stop clinging to the negative and start rekindling your inner flame. Embrace the fire of Kaunaz. So, for this week, this is the third lesson in the runes project. Practice writing the rune Kaunaz, and one way to visualize the rune is to see the lower leg as a torch being held out and the upper leg as the flames of the torch leaping out to the right. And if it helps, draw that rune as an angled torch. And as you write and draw, consider the fire in your own heart and embrace that fire, understand it, and follow it. Until we meet again, Skull.